Hi guys, Ron here and welcome to the workshop. Today my mother's bike has finally arrived and it's a very nice looking carbon Orbea Avant in this very classy black finish. She's not very tall, as you can see. This is a very tiny frame. It's size 47, so the smallest that Orbea offers, and it's going to be the perfect fit for her. I've already dialed the cockpit, the saddle height, all that stuff, and I decided to go for this bike because, well, it was good value. One of my distributors now carries Orbea, so I have good availability and pricing for it, and plainly it was a bike that she liked, and I've never really had any experience with Orbea before, and I thought it's a nice brand to try out. And yeah, I'm really impressed by the quality of the finish of the frame, and also some very thoughtful features. But also there are some odd things about the equipment that I like to point out, and this is exactly the reason why I never buy complete bikes for myself. A custom bike here, just well, it didn't stretch into the budget, unfortunately. This time, if you're not building a super high-end bike, it's really not worth it financially, and she's not an avid racer, she's just a recreational rider, so I got her a complete bike. And yeah, there are some oddities in the setup. So as I mentioned, this is a size 47 endurance road frame. The geometry is not all that slack and relaxed though, so it's a pretty nice fit in my opinion. The first thing that I immediately found weird is that it has a 160 rotor at the back. Now the road standard for racing is 140 at the back, 160 in the front. So I really don't understand why would you spec a 160 at the back on a road bike in the smallest size, because most likely the rider riding this will be very light. So you don't really need all that much braking power at the rear. I think a rider of this size could even do with the 140 front. So that's a bit odd. Then secondly, tire choice. Now these are the latest Hutchinson Fusions. This is the all-weather kind of winter tire or endurance tire. It's tubeless ready, so that's all very nice. This is a very good tire according to the reviews, but it's just a 25, and as you can see, the frame has tons of clearance. The rims are tubeless, not super wide but decent, so I think it would make much more sense than for a 28 or 30 even than a 25 on this kind of bike. So I think this is the biggest miss on this bike. Nevertheless, I've set them up tubeless. With my mother's weight, she won't really need high pressure, so it will be still pretty comfortable, and because of the tubeless setup, no real pinching possibility, but still weird. Of course, this is an out-and-out road bike, no gravelly stuff here, but still, I would have really liked to see a wider tire on there, just for that extra confidence. But yeah, maybe when she wears these out, we'll upgrade to that or whatever. I've already set them up tubeless though, the tape is in the rim. There's no valve though, so I've included mine, Silca, very nice unit. So that's the valves covered. The wheels themselves, pretty standard DT Swiss wheels, nice straight pull spokes, center lock hubs, all very common and standard. Stem size, more or less normal for a bike of this size. It's a bit chubby though. The interesting thing is that if I put on a Wahoo with its mount, even though I slam it all the way to the stem, it's still not in the center, as you can see, because of the width of the stem. So that's a bit weird. Then the handlebar width, It's a 40 centimeter bar, edge to edge. I think that's okay, but maybe a 38 would be even better for a bike of this size, but then again it's an endurance bike, so 40 might be okay. And then finally gearing. Again, for a bike of this bike of this category or type, a compact, I'm okay with that. Very, very good choice here. What I don't really approve of is the choice of cassette. It's an 1128, which is a racer's cassette nowadays. And since there's a long cage version existing of the Ultegra rear mac that can handle 34, and price-wise these items aren't really more expensive, I think, or I can't really see why the guys behind this bike didn't spec those items, because they just make much more sense, I think. So you would get a 1-to-1 gear. Usually a rider of this type of bike isn't very fast or experienced, or a racer, so I'm sure they would appreciate those lower gears and wider spread. Then if we talk about the things that I fitted myself to the bike, a pair of XTR M9100 pedals. She prefers mountain bike pedals because of the ease of use and walkability of the shoe, and just overall practicality. On the left is a Stages power meter crank arm. Not really necessary for her, but I bought it because it was ridiculously cheap on sale, because it's now discontinued. This is the 5800 105 arm, and I just couldn't leave it there, and also put it into good use myself on my Italian trip, so good investment right there. Always nice to have a power meter. I've yet to fit a bottle cage. I need to find one in the workshop. Haven't looked yet. Of course, bar tape still needs to go on. The reason it isn't on is I'm waiting for things and parts for the one bike conversion. So I'll be fitting a wide range cassette on the back, single chainring on the front, and possibly a road link with the same derailleur. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The reason I'd like to do that is, again, she's not a very experienced rider. It will be much less of a hassle for her to operate just one derailleur at the rear. Just simple shifting up and down, harder, easier. And she's not going to complain about cadence changes so much because, well, she's not a racer, she just rides for fun. So this will be the upgrade, and perhaps some bigger tires. Or actually, I'm pretty sure I'm getting bigger tires, because, yeah, 25 nowadays, I have 25s on my time trial bike, and everywhere else a lot bigger. So, yeah, overall, very nice bike. Some oddities in the setup. Orbea, if you're watching this, make these changes for next year, please. Okay, so this was a little bit of a detour from my bikes. I have plenty of interesting stuff coming up for those, and also a brand new road bike coming up. So if you'd like to know more about that, then don't forget to tune in later on and subscribe to the channel. It's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.